Welcome, one and all, to the Subnautica Below Zero launch celebration live stream. My name is Kate, and I am as pleased as punch to be here with you, the incredible Subnautica community, as we celebrate the launch of Below Zero. And listen, we all know I couldn't do this with anybody else. Danya Bramo, community extraordinaire, has joined me today. Danya, how you doing?
Good. Really good.
I would like everyone to know, by the way, that the background in Danya's house right now is new and awesome looking, and it's definitely something to look forward to throughout the stream, so take a look at that while we talk. But we've got a lot to do today, and Danya, that's when I ask you exactly what our launch live stream here has in store.
So much stuff. We are going to be talking to so many of the devs who brought the game to life. We're going to be talking about everything from the story, we'll be talking about the music, we'll be talking about the art and the level design. We've got a couple of trailers to show you, including our new launch gameplay trailer. And we may have a couple of really cool things to give away as well.
Wow, that is what we in the business call a tease, and well done, Danya. And you're absolutely right. Throughout the show, we're going to be celebrating you, the Subnautica community, the Below Zero game, and of course, as Danya mentioned, all the people behind it. I mean, Danya, as we start here looking at the beginning of what is no longer early access, but here we are, what are your first thoughts before we get into that reveal trailer?
It's been incredible. I mean, the Subnautica community just in general, you're all amazing people. You make my job probably the easiest job in the world. Being as passionate about the game and as in love with it as you are. So, you know, the response as it was like rolling out live across the world overnight has been amazing. So, yeah. It's been fantastic seeing people like get it on like all of their devices. This is the first time that we've launched a game simultaneously across like everything. So PC, console, everything. So everyone got the game at the same time. So it's been incredible to see everyone get the game in their hands at the same time.
Absolutely, and I will say that Subnautica fans from way back, these live streams, one of the fun things you get to see is that big button being pushed for everything to go live. Well, that's not happening today because, as Danya mentioned, the game's out. Y'all can go and play right now if you really want to, but you could just stay here and enjoy this lovely celebration, this love letter to you, our community. And at this point, I also want to make mention, so not only... Danya, I love that you talked about all of the platforms and all of the synchronicity that came with this launch. But this stream itself, we are coming from all areas around the world. We've got people calling in from every single, well, with the exception of Antarctica. Sadly, nobody from Antarctica is calling in today. It's just an upsetting thing that I won't talk about. But either way, the point is that we've got this live stream today from all over the world. So we're going to try our best to make sure the technology works out for us. I feel like it's gonna. Hopefully I'm not going to just like knock on wood here. But either way, I'm very, very excited. Last things to say before we go into this reveal trailer, Danya.
Thank you to everyone who has purchased the game so far, who has played it already. Thank you for the amazing response that you've given. And as always, we're still listening. We're still really excited to hear what you all think.
Absolutely. Well, hey, let's jump into these frigid waters with a reveal trailer that we know you're going to love. Take a look.
Stop right there, Altera. You're on my turf.
It would appear I'm far less alone on this planet than I had anticipated. Landing was a bit rough, but I don't think they've spotted me.
You sure you want this?
I need to know what happened. I'll find my way back. Some of the wildlife down here is very grabby.
Hey, Robin, you were right. I'm afraid something terrible is gonna happen. If you hear this, love you.
This was Sam's necklace. She never took it off. Hello? Is someone there? What is all this?
We're running out of time.
This isn't happening.
Well, if you weren't scared of the monsters before, you are now. Holy goodness, listen, that's an incredible trailer. It's always incredible to see the Subnautica world come to life. Danya, I need to know, we've seen in chat a lot of stuff people are saying. What do you think the reaction's been? What's been the reaction for you? And talk to me a little bit about what the trailer we just saw. I know there are some spoilers. Heads up, everybody.
Yeah, so anyone who's kind of followed along with us through early access will have seen like a ton of the trailers as we've been going. They've all been made by the amazing Keith Chatler, who just does the best job with showcasing the game. And obviously Ben and Jeff, who you will hear from a little bit later in the live stream, do all of the sounds and music for those trailers as well. So it's just, really cool to see like the final gameplay trailer as well. Like that all came to go together so quickly, like right at the end. So it was just great to be able to like premiere it with everyone right here.
I love it.
We usually just drop them and are like, hey, surprise, here we go. But actually being able to watch it along with everyone is really
I think it's really great that we got to see that before we go. It's sort of a reminder, if you're new to the Subnautica community, if you've played Subnautica but you're coming back to Below Zero, you're starting it up again, I think it's really great to have this trailer that sort of foundationally start us off, because as you mentioned at the intro, we're going to be talking to people behind the game, not just the gameplay itself, the UI. We're talking about the art, the sound, the soundtrack. I mean, literally everything that I think encompassed that lovely gameplay trailer we just saw, we're going to be sort of delving into and finding out some of the inspirations behind some of those different choices. Talk to me real quick about the monsters, about the wildlife here, because they mentioned it in the trailer. It's a thing that Subnautica fans love and have loved for some time now. Talk to me about the monsters.
Gosh, there are a ton more new creatures and leviathans and everything scary that we love about the world of Subnautica in Below Zero. I mean, for as much as I've played the game all throughout early access, I still get scared.
You know what? I don't know why people listen. I don't know why people call it action adventure game. Sure, it is, but it's also horror. Let's be clear.
Yeah, it's just generally like the creatures, everything about them is just so unique and so cool. Like getting to see them come together from like concept art, and we work in a way that is very open with the community. So like even the community throughout early access, you all will have been able to see like how everything developed from the original concept art all the way through to like the creatures that finally make it into the game. But yeah, they're terrifying.
Yes. In a word, yes.
I'm always like really quickly backing whenever I run into anything, going nope.
That is universal. Chat, can we get some love for that? Nope, because I've done it before myself. Okay, so here's the thing. That we had some great that great reveal trailer here, but I want to transition into, we've got a nice little Switch trailer coming up here, and those who are into handheld gaming, the Switch is the best. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And to have Subnautica Below Zero on Switch, Subnautica Below Zero, it's awesome. I want to real quick, though, there's a story behind this, behind getting into Switch, becoming part of the Nintendo ecosystem. Do you know what that is, Danya? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, like, for the longest time, people were always, like, saying, hey, we would really love Subnautica on Switch, and we, were never really sure if it was going to be possible. Subnautica as a game, and even Below Zero, is so beautiful and so expansive and so detailed that, we were like, how do you even begin to, like, bring it to a handheld device? And so the team did an exceptional job. We worked on it for 2 years, must be about 2 years worth of development to bring it just to Switch, both games. So a lot of people who've actually got their hands on it so far, both Subnautica and Below Zero, are having a great time with it. Like, the response to it has been incredible so far. So yeah, I hope anyone who did pick it up on Switch that you continue to enjoy it, because we're really proud of how it turned out.
Well, let's not even stop ourselves any longer. Let's take a look. This is what it's going to look like on Switch right now. Check it out.
This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Good luck.
Well, from Switch to switching up gears, and I don't care who knows what I did there, I want to talk to the guys behind the sound, behind the soundtrack, behind the audio. Please welcome Jeff and Ben. Gents, welcome to this launch celebration live stream. How you doing?
Hi, good.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, my first question is, were either of you in chat because earlier before the show started, because I keep seeing things like Subnautica music is incredible. Man, this soundtrack is a jam. Was that you guys in chat trying to drum up some stuff, or is that literally from our fan base, which I'm pretty sure it is?
It definitely wasn't me.
I have a couple of different...
Smart move. You know what? That's a pro move right there. That's a pro move. Ben, let's start with you, actually. Well, I want you to introduce yourself and talk to us a little bit about, the journey to become, the journey that you took to take what Subnautica originally did and to really transform it into Below Zero.
Oh, yeah. So I wasn't involved in the original game. So it was very exciting for me to be able to work on this. Like, I was already a fan of the original game before, just like as a player, and I played it a lot, and so it was really cool to be able to like work on the sequel, and it was fun to try to like carry on what Subnautica is, but add my own sort of spin to it.
Yeah. Well, and I gotta ask also, like, it's gotta be sort of the taking something like Subnautica with this great fan base, this great community, no pressure, by the way. You come into Below Zero. What did they tell you when you first started, really crafting the sound that would be Below Zero in terms of taking what was Subnautica and then transitioning into this new game?
So they asked me, like, they told me, take the original game like as inspiration and like a jumping off point, but don't feel like you need to be like stuck to the original sound, or like you don't need to imitate the original sound. Just use it as inspiration. So that was great for me, and really the team just sort of gave me free rein to sort of do what I want.
Wow.
Which I love.
That sounds ideal.
Yeah. So it was honestly like one of the best like soundtrack experiences I've ever had. Like one of the best projects I've ever worked on.
Well, and I know you've got a specific approach, and I want to get back to that in a second. But Jeff, hearing Ben talk about this great experience, I got to imagine something like this has got to be great for you. Can you talk a little bit about what you do, what Power Up Audio does, and sort of like give me the high level, if you were talking to somebody at a party, explain what you do on the game. Yes, the elevator pitch. That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, we do anything that isn't acting in voiceover or music composition. So anything else that you hear in the game, whether it's the creatures or the sea truck, the prawn suit, footsteps, the wind when you go to the surface. that's all us. And we also take the voices and the music that Ben does, and we help implement it in the game so that we implement it dynamically so that we can get his music sounding the way that it should in the different biomes. And if you're in danger...
Speaking of in danger, we talked about this during rehearsal the other day, and I know you brought up that you're trying to taking that concept of fear of the sea. Danya and I just talked about it. She uses the phrase "no, no, 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 no" when she sees a leviathan right in front of her. Right? Talk to me about designing sound for that kind of like a visceral thing that Subnautica, being so immersive, is totally known for.
Yeah, it's really fun designing for Subnautica because there is a lot of like unknown variables that happen in the sea that is that really like allows us to be really creative with our approach in sound design. So actually one of the things that we did in Subnautica was in Below Zero was that we looked at all the biomes and we tried to imagine what a certain creature would sound like in these biomes that you don't see. So we didn't even go to the art department, and we just designed monster sounds for creatures that actually don't have any visual representation in the game, and then we triggered them at random in the different biomes that you explore in. So there's a lot of like fear and tension from things that are far away from you in the game that actually don't really exist in a visual way in the game, but like it's supposed to evoke that sort of fear.
I can say job well done. Number one, thanks for all the heart palpitations. Secondly, let's go back, Ben, because I know we were talking about approach. We just heard from Jeff about theirs. Talk to me about you had a very specific approach to creating this soundtrack. Can you talk to me about that?
Oh, yeah. So I had this idea of like having 3 pillars or like focal points that all of the soundtrack would fulfill in some way. And so the 3 focal points were one, loneliness and isolation, the awe and wonder of an alien world, and the fear of the unknown. Those are like the 3.
Yeah.
And so each track fulfills one or more of those focal points or pillars, and then spread across about like 50 tracks. It kind of, that covers all of that pretty well. But that's sort of like my direction that I gave myself.
Is there something that, like, this is a big outlandish question, but our community is Subnautica community is such an important part of not just the development of the game, but certainly the fan base itself. Is there something you want your soundtrack to evoke? And you know what, Jeff, I'll open this up to you because you both have such very specific intentions. I'm curious, what is the ideal response to the music, to the sound design? Ben, we'll start with you.
Yeah, as someone who came from the community and then into like a player, like I was mostly trying to just recreate my own original experience with playing the first game. So it was like I wanted it to like feel the way I felt when I played the game, and that is like those 3 pillars that I mentioned are like the three things that stood out to me the most when I first played the game.
Jeff?
For me it was kind of it was balancing the idea of being powerless, which is when you're swimming and you hear all the creatures and you don't know where to go next and you see a big leviathan off in the distance, and the powerful, which I thought was also like an interesting take with this genre. Like with every survival game, you always start very weak. You don't necessarily have a numbered level attached to you, but you do start off with nothing, and you have to craft your way into building, better habitat, shelters, devices, things like that. So we do a lot of dynamic sound design in this game too. So when you get certain vehicles and you're able to upgrade them in certain ways, it actually changes how the vehicles sound. and it makes you feel more powerful, more sleek, and able to traverse and be more confident in your traversal in the water.
Okay, over to you. Oh, sorry. Apologies. I was hearing something else. Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Guys, you know what? Here's the thing. We all know, and I know the community's going to agree with me on this one, what you do is such an integral part of the game and such an integral part to creating that immersive experience. So well done. Fantastic work. Where can people find you? Ben, let's start with you.
Can find...
Sorry. Where can people find you, Ben?
Find me.
Where can they find you?
Me. Okay. I am on Twitter, Ben Prunty at Twitter, and you can also get my soundtrack on Bandcamp or pretty much anything. You can get it on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube or anything.
There you go. Jeff.
And my company is called Power Up Audio. So you can find us on Twitter as well. It's Power Up Audio, just one word. And our website, powerupaudio.com.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for what you did for Below Zero, and thank you for joining me here today.
Thanks.
Cool. Awesome. Well, you know what?
Thanks.
Now it's over to Danya with what I'm pretty sure could be a giveaway. I don't know. Question mark? We'll find out. Danya, over to you.
It is, in fact, a giveaway. We are really excited to be giving away a Subnautica prize pack from For Fans by Fans. So in this one, we will have 3 total winners. You will get one of our Peeper enamel pins and Boomerang enamel pins as part of this pack. We're also going to be giving away the Royal Blue LifePod 5 t-shirt, which is really cool, was designed by someone as part of our For Fans by Fans fan art contest. And then we also will be giving one of either a Subnautica mousepad, wallet, or print. So if you want to enter to try and win one of these incredible prizes, you can go to the Subnautica Twitter account, which is just at Subnautica. You will now see that there is a tweet live up on there with a link to Gleam, which is our giveaway platform. All you need to do, click through that link. It will tell you exactly how to enter. You need to be over 13 in order to enter, but it is open worldwide. So if you really, really want to get your hands on some Subnautica merch, you can go ahead and enter over there. It's really simple. There's only 2 ways to enter. You just need to follow us on Twitter and join our Discord, and it will give you the links to both within the Gleam giveaway link. So, also, if you are enjoying the little pegling art that's here, holding all of our merchandise, that was done by the incredible artist who works with us at Unknown Worlds called Amanda. She is fantastic, did an amazing job. Also did a lot of the art that you are seeing on all of our screens as the live stream is going on. So she did all of our layouts, she did all of our cute little drawings, everything. So she did an amazing job. So yes, excited to be running a giveaway for all of you to be able to enter. So again, you need to go to our Twitter account at Subnautica. There is a link live on there, and you can click through and enter from that link. Whoa, I just decided to check really quickly to see if you were all finding it, and we have already got almost we've got over 600 entries, so you guys are actually really excited for that. And we do have another giveaway coming up a little bit later on the stream, but that one's a surprise, and I'll be really excited for you guys to see all of that. But yes, giveaway is live. It will run all over the weekend, and I think that it might be time to bring another beloved member of the team over to come and chat and have a little interview, I think.
Oh man, Danya, you are not wrong. You are one of the people that I know the community loves to chat with, and you do chat with them on a daily basis. But let's talk to Scott, because if you are an older, like completely like a fan that's been there from day one, well then you are Scott level fandom here and Scott level experience with this brand. Scott, first of all, welcome to the live stream. Sorry that I'm yelling. I'm so excited. Too much coffee already. But I want to say, can you real quick talk to us about, I mean, the width and breadth of your experience with Unknown Worlds and with Subnautica in particular. Just tell me a story of Scott.
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, hi chat. Hi. You're not getting... Oh, hello everyone. Yes, hi, I'm Scott, otherwise known as Abraxas. I am from Abraxas Prime, so be very careful. I have been around since the dawn of time, almost, which is in other words around 2002, when I was helping out playtesting Natural Selection 1, which is a mod created by Charlie Cleveland and his friends, and now co-founders and workers, Max McGuire and Corey Strader, and I basically have never left. I've tried to help out wherever I can, and then at some point they just had to hire me officially. So I'm now part of the woodwork, and
Okay.
I've never left.
Okay, so that's Scott's
yeah.
interpretation. Danya, can you give me exactly what Scott's influence on this entire franchise is? Because I think he's being modest right now.
He is being a little bit modest. So before I even joined the company, and Scott and I have known each other for years, like Scott, I knew was working on like Natural Selection and Natural Selection 2 as QA testing, and he was doing that while we knew each other at university. So it's been a part of his life for as long as like I've known him at university, and so yeah, he has always had the community at the heart of like everything he does. He's come from there. A lot of people who sort of like end up working on this game or coming into this game have in some way like been a fan or loved it or have been part of the community. And so yeah, Scott, when he kind of started and came across into Subnautica and working on Subnautica, actually did a ton of stuff with the community before even I started at the company. So, you know, he was helping with the Discord, all of the feedback on like everywhere we were with the game, like forums. He also ran our community playtesting group. So, you know, Scott does a lot more that does a lot more than he will give himself credit for.
There it is.
I think.
Well, and I was going to say, and Scott, your current
to.
title, your current role, the role that you have morphed into, if you will, is animator. I want to real quick talk to you because you come from, you know, we joked about this, but you came into the Unknown Worlds family with a bit of fish animation knowledge.
Yeah, so one of the gigs that I had before coming and working at Unknown Worlds was working on I worked on some films in London, and one of those was animating some fish in a movie called Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. And so it kind of was fitting that my next project after that was animating fish in a fish game, underwater game. But certainly, already knowing everyone at Unknown Worlds from doing community playtesting and QA for that voluntarily, it just made absolute sense for me to hop on board and help out in as many places as I could. And back then, the company was a lot smaller, so a lot of people in the team had to wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things. So yeah, back in the early days, I was essentially running the community management stuff, animating wherever I could, and also running the QA side of things until we hired Rose, who's done a brilliant job last year, and Donya as well. Hiring Donya last year to take over the community stuff has been fantastic. It's allowed me to do more creative things at the studio, like edit the cinematic trailer that recently was released, and I get to work with Corey Strader a lot on that as well, our company art director. So yeah, I call myself X-shaped rather than T-shaped, I have a lot of hats that I wear at the studio. So yeah, but I'm super excited to see how the community have been responding to Below Zero. It's been a real passion of mine to involve the community as much as possible, as early as possible. And it's been like that for the whole studio since its inception. From like opening up all of our Trello boards, our Favre boards to the public, all of our development work, as much of our bug process as possible, involving them in playtesting, and just talking to them in the Discord as much as possible or on Twitter. It's one of our standout things that we do as a company, and I can only see us doing it more and more as we go into the future.
Well, speaking of the future and certainly the community there, you're talking, we also got the girl here who's now at the intersection of fans and the devs and the company. And Danya, now is the question I have is sort of like, what's a day in the life for you as a community manager for a game that, to Scott's point, is so community driven?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my day is taken up with like just talking to people. Everywhere, anywhere, wherever they are, I'm usually hanging around, like talking, like getting feedback about their experiences. But it's more than that. It's like understanding what makes them love Subnautica as much as we love creating it. It's being there with them and celebrating and talking about the game as much as possible. And that's everywhere, from forums to Discord, hang around on the Reddit, social media. We do everything. Like all through early access, we have like a little release team. Like it's all about doing stuff like communicating what is happening on the game as well when we start releasing early access updates. Like anywhere where you kind of see forward-facing communications, that's almost always me. So, blog posts, newsletters, anything on like social media, that's always me. But also, just getting involved behind the scenes, because everything that the community wants to say about the game or wants to get involved in some way about the game, whether that's bug reports, feedback, community playtesting, general sentiment about the game, general feedback about the game, it's then getting it back to the team in a way that's really easily digestible and like understandable, and getting into discussions. And it also helps shape the game. Like Below Zero as a game probably wouldn't be where it is today without the community. And I mean, the community is also in the heart of the game. Like there is artwork and posters and decorations and other stuff in the game that were designed and created by the community. They made it, we loved it, we reached out and worked with them to put it in the game. And Scott can probably talk a little bit more about this because it predated me slightly, but the Spy Penguin, one of the new pieces of tech in the game, was entirely pitched by the community as something to bring to the game. And Scott actually presented that pitch on behalf of the community. And now it's part of the game. It's part of the fabric of the Subnautica universe. So, yeah.
That was a great experience. The community reaching out, a bunch of them got together. They made an entire presentation of why we should put the Spy Penguin in the game. And it was so convincing that I presented it at one of our company retreats, and the entire studio just fell in love with this little Spy Penguin. And it really energized the studio at the time. Like we all the artists, all the programmers, just absolutely loved working on this thing. And now it's an integral part of the game. So the community has done a great thing for this game, and that's why we like in getting them involved so much, because they'll come up with things that are just so fantastic, and sometimes they know our game better than we do, and they know exactly what it needs. So we just have to keep our ears open and go forward in taking their feedback on board.
Well, and I know, I believe, and I hope I'm not spoiling something, is there something about tracks that we might be able to mention that are in the jukebox?
Yes, that was something that just slipped my mind to talk about. The community is so heavily in this game, in the DNA of this game. There is a jukebox in the game, and you will be able to swim around the world and discover and find little discs that have music from members of the community who have made audio and songs and everything inspired by Subnautica. So you can actually go around the world, find them, pick them up, take them back to your jukebox, and actually listen to these tracks that people from the community have made, inspired by the Subnautica universe. And it's just... Well, some of them...
and they're fantastic
Yeah,
as well.
some of them, like, I have 100% gone and made a jukebox first thing in my base, just so that I can just play the tracks on it while I'm, like, messing around and building out my base.
Or you can build your sea truck with one in the back and just have music blaring as you're like driving through the world.
Nice.
That's really fun.
Well, that sounds. I mean, listen, there's so much to dive into. Yep, that's right. Pun jokes all day long. I know that we're gonna want everybody to go and play and have some fun and really just do a job. Is there anything else that you guys want to say, and particularly where people can find you and where people can find elements of the community? Maybe Danya, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much everywhere in respect to, like, the Subnautica presence with the community. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. We're on the Steam forums. We have our own forums on the Unknown Worlds website, and we also have a Discord. You know, a lot of the devs kind of hang around in Discord. They'll drop in from time to time and chat. I'm there every single day saying hello and chatting and talking to people, but we're pretty much everywhere. But, like, if you're ever interested in just me, but fair warning, if you follow me on my
Look in the background of
accounts,
her shot. That's the warning.
I do actually, on my personal accounts, talk about a lot of ice hockey and video games and K-pop. So that's not your thing. Don't worry about following me, but I am at virtual_Don on Twitter if you do want to follow me. But
Scott, how about you?
Fair
love
warning.
the warning. I love the warning. Scott, how about you? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Abraxas pretty much on everything. Been there since the dawn of time. Or you can find me on the Discord. I am also Abraxas on the Discord. So yeah, that's basically
well,
it
and
for
that's
me.
it.
no warnings about Scott's Twitter. He's really
No, you just take that one as it comes.
No, I like a bit of sci-fi and I like video
There you go.
games.
Well, we've got a lot of love for you both in chat, and a huge thank you for being here today. Danya, we'll see you in just a second. Scott, thank you so much once again. But now I think it's time to talk to Kyle and David. David, project lead, Kyle, lead designer. I think we'll want to welcome them in as we do this. Here we are. Do I see you? Do I see you? Do we see them? We are live. Look at that. That looks delightful. Okay. The community knows. David, they know you. They love you. You're often one of the people that gets interviewed for the project itself. So thank you very much for being here. And Kyle, you're a guy who is so integral in the look and feel of this game. First of all, welcome, gents.
Thanks.
Well, thank you. Hello. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kyle. Hello, people of Earth. It's nice to see you all.
Man, that's a really good intro. Why didn't I think of that? Well, it's fine. Either way, Kyle, let's start with you because I think you know, lead designer for something like this. Talk to me what that means, and talk to me about sort of what you touched within the Subnautica Below Zero ecosystem.
Well, as a level designer, I sculpt the environment. So largely, we start off sculpting the terrain, and then we'll place props and like interactable things like that, and then creatures, and we kind of, you know, set up scenarios that we think the players are going to enjoy.
Yeah, I think that one you can cross off your list if that's at all helpful. David, you know what? A thing like this, it's so interesting because, you know, we've all been in gaming for a while, right? And we, you know, across the board, various different experiences. But I can say, from my perspective, I don't think I've ever seen a game that has had as much community input to its creation as this one. Can you talk to me a little bit about sort of the opportunities and the challenges that an early access kind of development brings?
Yeah, it's a very new experience for me, actually. I'm in the game industry almost actually over 20 years now, and every time I made a game previously, it was behind closed doors. It's like we're working on this beautiful, perfect thing that everybody's going to love just as soon as they can actually play it and react to it, and you don't really know until it goes out there and people get a chance to use it and play with it, and the whole approach at Unknown Worlds is really different because it's open and it's engaging with the community. So it does present new challenges because you always have so much activity and attention. There was we were trying to do this big live story that we had to change a few times during development for Below Zero, and it's really like you're just dealing with all this input all the time. So that's where people like Danya and Scott really help, because they're there like interacting with people directly and kind of filtering stuff out to the team, and then we make decisions based on what we think is right, but also like what we're hearing from the community, and it just makes the games better, I think.
Well, and I think that's an interesting question. Then I'm going to go over to Kyle here. We talk about inspiration, and Subnautica is the original Subnautica was such a formidable beast, it feels like, in terms of the visuals. And now going into Below Zero, what was sort of the transition like? When how did you build upon that foundation of Subnautica to bring us Below Zero, and some of the little highlights and nuances from that?
I think mostly it's just experience. Like building a full 3D world that you can go in any direction at any moment brings its own challenges. And then after Subnautica, we had learned so much. So we were able to just, jump right in and get going. I mean, we had the world blocked out by and large very early, probably within the first couple months. And then we were just, kind of refining after that. So, I mean, we just picked up right where we left off, basically.
Is it true that you guys actually started designing, like, during the retreat right after the original game came out?
Yeah, it was supposed to be relaxation time, and we had napkin drawings, and probably like within like the first dinner, we had already started on what would a cool experience be. So yeah.
Well, David, I'm gonna volley it over to you because I know you're a big tennis fan. By the way, David has a tennis podcast. Putting that out there, putting that will obviously be serving you some great questions here. At any rate. Don't care, everybody. This is what it's all about today. Welcome. I know that one of the big things with you in interviews, you've talked about it, and certainly you're known for it around the community. Getting the game into as many hands as possible. Why is that important? What's your motivation there? And talk to me a little bit about that as a motivator.
I mean, I think we want everybody to be able to experience what we're doing, and we want to make games that are appealing to as many people as possible. We think that games, just as a matter of philosophy, are for everybody. And if we're not actively trying to reach a really wide audience and get the game into as many hands as possible, like, I think we're kind of doing a disservice to our community.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely see that, and the passion is there. It is in droves. It is dripping from every element of this game. Last question here. We'll start with Kyle. What are you hoping fans get from Below Zero? What's your hope?
Just that they get immersed in the world and kind of get lost in all the things that we created for them. We tried to really up the diversity of gameplay, so freediving is much more accessible. The Sea Truck offers a lot of customization options for the game, so hopefully players just don't notice anything and they're just lost in the beauty of the world.
Well, I can say that from but my authoritative stance on that is yes. David, final question to you. What do you want people to get out of Subnautica Below Zero?
What do I want people to get out of
It's a hard question, I know.
Zero?
I know.
I guess I would like people to have a good time and a great experience and adventure. I think one of the things about Subnautica that makes it special is that people kind of get to make the adventure their own. They get to kind of choose the direction through the world, and it's this very open experience, and we give our players a lot of tools and freedom to kind of pursue whatever direction they want. So I just hope people really dig it and appreciate it, and let us know what you think. We really want to hear from people, and we're paying attention, and it'd be great to get your feedback. So thank you for playing.
Excellent. Well, let's start with where can people find you, David? Where can they find you, and where can they find that tennis podcast I hear as a part of your day?
Oh yeah. Right. I was gonna be like, don't look for me on the internet because I don't do social media, but since you've given me the opportunity to plug my my art tennis podcast project, it's called The Tennis Tragic. You can find it everywhere that there are podcasts. I don't know how many people in this room are into professional tennis and drama and personalities and relationships, but that's my kind of jam. So come check us out. And otherwise, our team, obviously we're all like on Discord, and it'd be great to see you over there or other places.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Kyle, over to you. Where can people find you?
At Kyle McDonald at Twitter. That's primarily where I'm at.
Right on, right on. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for producing the incredible game. And now we're going to go over to Danya, who I believe is going to produce another giveaway. Danya?
Yes. Surprise. This has been a little bit of a labor of love. We heard from everyone in the community about how much you have all wanted Peeper plushies. We have listened. We have been working on it quietly in the background, and I am excited to announce that they are real. They are a thing. They are going to be coming to you from our official merch partner, For Fans by Fans. They are available to pre-order from today, but as part of our launch celebrations, we are giving away 5 of them. So same deal as the last giveaway. If you go to @Subnautica on Twitter, that link is now live. You can click through to win one of our Peeper plushies. There will be 5 winners for this giveaway. Tiny little bit of technical difficulty there, but we are back. Not sure how much you all heard, but we'll go back over it very, very, very quickly. So, Peeper plushies. They are here, they are real. They are from our merch partner, For Fans by Fans. We are giving away 5 of them. So, yeah, you can go ahead to @Subnautica on Twitter. You can find the link, go through, enter from there. I'm just really excited to finally be able to tell you guys that Peeper plushies are real. I've been working on them with For Fans by Fans and some other members of the team for a while, so go ahead, go try and win yourself one of the 5 that we're giving away today. But they are available for pre-order. The links now should be live on For Fans by Fans if you want to purchase one, but they are very cute, 16-inch size plushies. They are great. I'm just very excited to have them be a real thing. So, yes. I hope you love them as much as I've loved working on them and bringing them to life. So, go, enter, enjoy them. But, yeah. And I think we have got another interview up next. So, we've got a couple more people that we're talking to from the team. So, I'm going to throw it back over to Kate.
Yes, indeed, and thank you, Danya, for the giveaways, and also thank you all for being so flexible. We got technical issues, as we mentioned at the beginning. We're doing this from our homes all around the world, so sometimes things happen, and you guys handled it with stride. Well done. At any rate, 2 other people that handle things in stride have got to be our programmers, our interview today, Damien, Slava. Gents, welcome to the launch live stream extravaganza.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, everyone.
I love it. Okay, so, you've got programmer as your title, both of you, and But what does that really mean? Damien, let's start with you. Kind of tell me about what a typical day looks like for you as a programmer, and then Slava will come over to you.
Yeah, usually on Subnautica at least, it's sitting down and looking at what bugs there are to fix or what tasks there are to working on, and then go dive into the monstrous code base and try to find out where those things live and do the thing and test it, and then rinse and repeat on that.
Monstrous code base. I like that. A code base based on the Leviathan. Slava, I know we had talked about in the rehearsal sort of the opportunities and some of the hiccups that can come with an early access, back and forth with the community kind of development. Can you talk to me a little bit about, what were the highlights, some of the challenges that an early access gives you as a programmer?
Yeah, being in early access allows us to release any particular feature early and get your feedback. So, for example, I don't know, we released Enable Recipes. It was a mod developed by our awesome community, and it was so popular that we've decided to implement that by ourselves in the game. Yeah, being in early access allows us to do such things.
Have you ever, Slava? Have you ever been a part of a development cycle that was so fan driven?
No, I'm with Unknown Worlds since 2014, so I was able to feel all that love from our community.
Excellent. Well, Damien, I want to talk a little bit about your experience too, because you've been in games for 13 years. You come at this from a wealth of experience across the gaming industry. Can you talk to me a little bit about your history in gaming and really what led you to Unknown Worlds?
Yeah, sure. I guess I started out in the game industry in a small indie studio in Austin, Texas. And I guess before that, I had sort of started up in a small group called Kokoromi with some friends up in Canada, Heather Kelly and Phil Fish and Cindy Paremba. And we put on some live game events. So I was pretty plugged into the indie game scene early on. And of course, the Austin scene for many years there while I was there was pretty lively. So I had been doing some independent development a few years after that initial studio job. Made a couple games with David O'Reilly that people might know, Everything and Mountain. And then was looking to do a switch and was looking around at places. And David here, Kalina, who you just saw, reached out to me and was like, hey, I think you might enjoy working in Unknown Worlds. This is the game we're doing. And I had heard about Subnautica but not played it. So I jumped on and played for about an hour, and it was like, yeah, this is cool. This feels good. I remember actually one of the things that stood out to me that I really liked is that when you're on the Fabricator and you open up the little icons and mouse over them, they do like a little bouncy thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, David, please tell whoever did that animation that it's amazing. And it turns out it was Slava.
Well done, Slava. Now, I will say, Slava, you also were integral into some of the accessibility options. Can you talk to us a little bit about the accessibility options here for Subnautica Below Zero and the entire ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. In Below Zero, we were able to implement UI scaling, also highlighting interactable objects, so you will no longer spend hours searching for stuff if you will enable this option. Also, PDA files so that you can read all those encyclopedia entries without worrying about hunger and thirst. And we look forward to backporting all these features back into Subnautica 1 because, yeah, we want as many people playing our games.
Nice. Well, hey, listen, it's a tremendously important thing, and I'm so glad that you guys have put the onus on that accessibility. I want to talk a little bit about, go back to Damien here for a second, because during our pre-interview here, we talked about you taking ownership of the system that owns the story. Can you unpack that for me, for people who may not understand sort of the development process and perhaps what you do as a programmer?
Yeah, so the story, at least, as it unfolds, is essentially it's like a bunch of pieces of text that need to be played in certain locations or in a certain order. And for a lot of those things, there's like sort of logic that controls like when the certain things play, or some lines will only play if you've done some other set of things already. So all of that has to be controlled by something. For us, that's a lot of data that we sort of manage by hand in the editor, and then a system that we call the story goal system. So one of the things that I wound up taking ownership of was that story goal system, and so spent a lot of time just improving the in-editor tools for dealing with that data, improving the workflow for the writers so that they could work on the script in a context that was easier to edit and manage than the giant text file we had been using, things like that. And then also doing the implementation of like setting up all the data so that the way that the story unfolded matched the way that the writing team had mapped things out. So does that make sense?
It does. It's I'm always impressed and surprised when you really delve into the intricacies of what you all do behind the scenes, and now with the early access fan involvement, I can only imagine that gets even more complex and integral. So well done, absolutely. Sort of last question, and Damien, we'll start with you. What do you want the community to know about this game? Like, what is the thing that's important to you to convey?
I guess I would like I'd like the community to know that by and large, everyone working on this game is being as thoughtful as they can be and really trying to, I think, set a high bar for their work in terms of quality and how things come across. And I appreciate that outlook at the studio. I certainly try to hold myself to a high standard, and I hope that comes across to people as they're playing it.
Excellent. And Slava, I want to ask what you would like to tell the community, but also talk to me about the plans for Subnautica Live.
Yeah, sure. A little tip first.
Yes.
A lot of stuff was said about the jukebox, and
yes,
if you put your MP3 tracks, your music into music/unknownworld/Subnautica, then it will appear in the game, and you will be able to play it.
Say that URL one more time, would you?
Music/ it's not URL, it's in your user folder in Windows.
Got it.
Got it. You'll find it. As for Subnautica Live teams, what we know for sure is that we want to implement improved mod support into the game, and in general we are looking towards providing the ways to add user-generated content into the game. Yeah.
Nice. Well, excellent. And well done, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank
you.
Damien, where can people find you?
I don't do much on the social medias these days. If you enjoy watching modular synth videos, I think you can probably find me on YouTube, Damien in Space. Nice. But aside from that, yeah, not too much.
And Slava, where can people find you?
Twitter at Slice3D.
Nice. Okay. Well, gents, go enjoy a well-deserved break, I hope, I assume, maybe, I don't know, but celebrate today because obviously you've done some incredible work. Thank you once again for joining us here at the Celebration Livestream.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, gang. And with that, we're going to bring Danya, our community manager extraordinaire, which I'm pretty sure we should continue to adopt as her title going forward. Please welcome Danya back to close out this extraordinary live stream here today. Let's take a look. There she is, and of course the background, and I want to make sure everybody knows the background looks awesome. She did an incredible job of her, bringing out all of the unpacking. That's good, because you recently moved. Am I wrong?
No, you are not wrong. I did recently move, so this is all brand new setup. So yes, turns out launching a game and getting that all out means that you don't have as much time for unpacking your boxes when you move house.
Who would have thought? Either way, you did a great job, and more importantly, I will say you did a great job co-hosting all day this lovely live stream. Thank you so much for that, and thank you for being a part of this massive community. Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything that you want to put out to the world here as we close out this live stream?
Well, first things first, I'd like to thank you. It has been fantastic the last couple of weeks getting to know you, and for you to come on to help host this live stream and celebrate the launch of Below Zero with us. I hope everyone else enjoyed having you here as a host as much as I did, but really thank you for coming in and co-hosting with me. I've had a great time.
Well, thank you. Me too.
And I guess the other thing is, as they talked about on the previous segment, you know, we're planning to continue supporting Subnautica and Below Zero for as long as we can. I will be part of that team. There are tons of people who will be staying and remaining on that team. You know, we'll continue listening to your feedback. We have a lot of hopes and a lot of plans for what we want to do. So, you know, as always, like, just keep giving us feedback, keep talking to us. As we kind of figure out what we're doing, we'll keep working in open development so that you know what's going to be coming to the game post-launch. You know, you've got feedback menus in the game to let us know if anything's not quite as you want it, but also if there are things that you do love. We want to hear everything. So, you know, keep talking to us. We love talking to you. We love hearing what you think about the game. And yeah, we're really looking forward to continue working with all of you in continuing to make Subnautica and Below Zero an experience that you all love and can continue to love and can continue playing and sharing with your friends, family, anyone.
Absolutely. Well,
other members of the community.
I can guarantee it's a game not many of us will soon forget. So well done to you and of course the entire team, and a huge thank you to our production team and you, Danya. This is a behemoth effort, and of course there's always going to be hiccups and tap dancing, but we were only down for less than 30 seconds, gang. I'm calling it a win. I'm saying it right now, and I'm also saying thank you and GG to everybody. And with that, we'll call this one a day. And what better way to end things out than with a nice little hypey trailer. Thanks again, and take a look.
Once I was falling asleep. I'm not scared. My dreams are all I ever needed. She told me what I'd see.
you.